Ahoy, cruise enthusiasts, welcome back. I guess this is part 2 of our little talk about cruising as an introvert, as I am. Hopefully you watched the first video, so you are, I guess, a little bit caught up on the subject. We're going to continue on with part 2. Like I said, this will end up being a 3-part series. Before we get started, if you like this kind of almost no holds barred commentary, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. Don't bother with the bell. I don't do it for anybody, so I'm not going to ask it of you. And if you find this information helpful, entertaining, whatever, just go ahead and hit that like button. It actually does help a lot. Okay, an introvert. This all started with a question over on Reddit, but just to catch anyone up to speed who hasn't watched the other video, which I'm sure you're going to go watch right after this, an introvert is an introvert is somebody who gains energy from solitude and internal reflection rather than from social interaction, yet can excel at performing, leads with clarity and depth, can deliver sharp and well-timed humor. Okay? Yes, we are very complex creatures. However, there's a lot of things, and this was the topic of the first video, that might be a little bit, not really, well, I'll say not appropriate, but aren't the thing for your average introvert. There are things on a cruise ship that I just don't really enjoy doing, but there are plenty of alternatives that we discussed. However, today we're going to focus on that second part. That's right, the performing, leading, and sharp and biting wit. Yes, there are plenty of things on a cruise ship that introverts can love to do. And even if it's your first cruise, some of these might be a little bit, I want to say, intimidating, but once you get used to them, I'm pretty sure that you will actually enjoy doing them very much on your next cruise and every cruise after that. So, I guess same style, the contra to some of the points that we talked about last time. And let's just start with introverts are often great at public speaking or performing. Yes, absolutely. We don't necessarily like to chit-chat with other people, but, on a stage, at a podium, with a microphone, I am totally comfortable. I'm sure if you've been around here for a while, you've seen me do plenty of karaoke and other things like that. So, yeah, absolutely. And guess what a big thing on a cruise ship, on most every other cruise ship, is karaoke. Yes. You know what? So practice some songs, go check out their song list, put in your request, and just get up there and sing. It really requires no interaction with anybody, even the host or hostess. They just call your name, you go do your thing, and you are done, in and out. Everyone's always super friendly. It's just a great environment, especially if it's late night and there's not much else going on. It is a great time. So yes, grab that microphone and go do some karaoke. There are also things like talent shows. This doesn't happen that often, but I've seen it once or twice where it'll be a guest talent show. It usually just some kind of singing or whatever. Yeah, go and sign up for one of those. Voice of the Ocean is on Princess. I tried that on Caribbean Princess, didn't get so far. I did MSC Factor on MSC World America, and well, I made it to the main stage, but I think that's because they forgot to announce the tryouts, something like that, and I just happened to be there. But hey, whatever, it worked. Sometimes, particularly around the holiday, they will have chorus. They will assemble a bunch of guests and they will learn to sing holiday songs together. That could be super fun. Make some cruise friends. There's also game shows. And this is a good thing if you are traveling with other people or you make some cruise friends. I don't think you actually have to be a family unit or anything, even to be like on Family Feud on Carnival. So yeah, if you have the people, go ahead and sign up for some of the game shows, right? The only person you're going to be interacting with are the people that you know and the host. So yeah, it's absolutely perfect. And I will say this, go ahead and wear that costume. Absolutely. Go if you want to, if this is your time, dress like a pirate, dress like Wham, dress like, whoever, right? This is your time to just put on that costume. You will get attention, you will get compliments, but you don't actually have to talk to people, right? So for me, it's absolutely perfect. Okay, next point about introverts that people don't necessarily realize. Yes, we can appear outgoing in short and intentional bursts. Okay, and similar to public speaking or performing, there are a lot of things on a cruise ship that you can enjoy that are pretty intense, but are done. You go, you do them, and they're done. A big type of activity that would fit this category are the Atrium games. I'm not really sure what to call them, but The games that they play either in the Atrium or one of the big lounges or something like that. We're talking about Yes or No. They do this on Princess. Celebrity Heads, where you guess the picture behind you. I've seen this on several cruise lines. I had a great time doing The Price is Right on Norwegian Prima. That was just random. They just called my name, and I went up on stage. And yeah, you can sometimes win some great prizes doing this. And again, you don't really have to interact with anybody other than the host. You barely even interact with them. But yeah, it's something super fun, and I've been enjoying doing these types of activity. Oh my gosh, I've been enjoying doing these types of activities for years. Yeah, one take still. Just check the calendar or check the guide, and yeah, go sign yourself up. Okay, the third aspect of introverts that most people don't necessarily realize, we do enjoy high energy events for limited periods, okay? Parties, yes, and the deck activities, yes, okay? Like the deck activities, principally like the things you might find on some of the mega ships like Royal Caribbean. I'm talking about the water slides, rock climbing, the flow rider even, things like that. You can go, you can do them, and then you're done, right? And like I've been saying, for all these other things, it doesn't really require a lot of interaction with a lot of people. So yeah, you can go and have fun doing these activities almost on your own. I mean, there's other people around, but you don't actually. I keep saying you don't have to talk to people, but that's kind of the whole deal. I go to the websites, I do them by myself, and it is pretty sad. So, and not being able to do the water slides, all the water slides on Icon of the Seas, I still haven't forgotten that, Royal. But But yeah, so go do all those super fun activities, and the parties, when they do play your favorite song, that's when you head into the crowd. That's when you get in the mix. That's when you do the line dance, right? You get out there, you sing to your heart's content, and when that song is over, you can leave. Just go. That's it. When it's done, you are out of there. All right. So don't be afraid to do that. No one will be judging you. Okay, fine, they might be judging you, but who really cares, okay? All right, so next last thing that people don't really realize about introverts is that we are often strong leaders due to a calm and thoughtful decision-making. Yes, there are activities on the cruise ship that do require calm and thoughtful decision-making, like trivia, like being on a trivia team, particularly a progressive trivia team where you are playing with the same team members throughout the cruise. This is popular on longer cruises like Crossings or some of the longer itineraries, maybe through the Panama Canal or whatnot. And yeah, this is a great place where, an introvert actually finds their stride. And it's okay to be one of the smartest people on the trivia team. Just be careful. You better be right? Because if you're not, yeah, you will get blamed. It happens, okay? There's also puzzle games. I have seen this on a number of cruise ships. You go and they have, various puzzle games that you have to figure out. There's clues and you have to assemble things or whatever, or figure out the riddle. Those are super fun, and they're in small groups, so perfect for the, slow, ponderous nature that we are usually known for. And then there's also the escape rooms that are... Well, I'm not going to say they're becoming popular. I think they were popular, but nobody ever talks about them. They've been on so many cruise ships, and I always forget to do them because they never really advertise them. But yeah, that's another, small group activity where you can definitely have some fun and, use your calm, quiet, and assertive nature. So yeah, don't be afraid to sign up for that trivia team or that escape room or the puzzle games. All right. Okay, fine. Last thing people don't necessarily associate with being an introvert. Yeah, we're funny. Often very funny, and are known for an engaging one-on-one personality when we choose to use it. Okay, when we choose to engage, as we can be often the life of the party, or the life of the group, or the life of the evening, right? Anyway, however, you probably, if you are one, you probably have a very dry and cutting sense of humor. And on that, I will warn you that most people on a cruise are there for a pretty PG experience, unless you're, with a certain groups. So be careful. You know what? Think about the joke you are going to make, because it might not always go over as well as you think with people who know you. But, don't be afraid to be funny, because that's always a great way to make friends. So there you go. 5 things that people do not necessarily associate with being an introvert, and some things that you can absolutely enjoy on a cruise ship when you are out of the cabin.